Riders. Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan, fifth strongest qualifier. Top qualifier was Yusuke Tanaka of Japan. He'll be the seventh to go. Highest execution score. Highest difficulty score is the second strongest qualifier, Vladislav Polyashov of the Russian Federation. Dinpon Tan of Vietnam, third strongest qualifier. He's got a very high difficulty too, 6.4, just a tenth shy of Polyashov. Obviously difficulty not a fixed thing, can evolve, especially into finals. Well, it feels appropriate at this time to acknowledge, especially considering that the Wizard of Oz stage show is coming to the Melbourne Arena in just a few months' time, to acknowledge the words of one of the great gymnastics coaches and broadcasters of all time, the late great Mitch Fenner, when explaining what is it that makes the parallel bars great? Clicking the heels. There's no place like home. It's what you're looking for in a parallel bars competition, that the gymnasts really bring those heels together in the handstands. Lovely straight lines for all you geometry fans out there. The parallel bars is absolute gymnastics heaven. Well, just hearing confirmation there that we're at over $6,000 to be donated to the bushfire appeal. $300 for every stuck landing of these championships. We might well get a few more as a result of this parallel bars final.
First competitor already seen this evening on the pole final. We have Milad Karimi from Kazakhstan, qualified fifth on the parallel bars.
Oh, Milad Karimi has put quite a shift in.
The honey they have on the bars, so it does a little bit longer to adjust the bars for each athlete's needs. So he's in his second final this evening.
Mitch Morgans of Australia will be the third to go.
And has competed in the last 3 Melbourne World Cups. Looks like we're all set for our first competitor.
So preparations of the apparatus complete, and Milad Karimi is about to go. Well, when one sees Milad Karimi on the parallel bars in Australia, one feels a touch nervous. This is a gymnast who broke his arm on this apparatus at the World Cup in Melbourne in 2018, and the world of gymnastics learned an enormous amount about this splendid young athlete, courtesy of his rehabilitation process, courtesy of the tenacity that he showed. He's a very keen jet skier, so he's a man who's not scared of injury. He's also a fabulous snowboarder too, and he's not too shabby on the parallel bars. Milad Karimi of Kazakhstan, the fifth strongest qualifier, gets things underway. Lovely 90-degree position from the bars in those handstands. Little adjustments, nothing huge. It's a lovely manner position, gaining some height. Beautiful arch at the back. Tippelt gets decent travel. Always Diamidov caused him some problems, well adjusted. He really is just a lovely gymnast to watch, isn't he, Milad Karimi? What an excellent athlete. Really is elegant. It's the first word that comes to mind with me when I think of Milad Karimi. He has a beautiful sense of style. He's made a lot of World Cup finals.
As our second athlete prepares for parallel bars, once again preparing to how he wants it to be, we have from Vietnam, Dinh Phuong Thanh, qualified in third position into the finals. Very experienced competitor, 5 times World Championships athlete, and was a finalist on parallel bars in Baku and Doha World Cups in 2019. So understands the pressure involved at these big events. As we make this score come through for Milad Karimi, which is just come through at 30.633. So that's the score to beat.
Just waiting for confirmation of the magic number for Milad Karimi, 13.633. So he's down by 0.2 from the qualification mark. Will be that is an attackable number. Those still to come. Second gymnast to take to the parallel bars, Dinh Phuong Thanh of Vietnam. Well, these apparatus World Cups are, as you would expect, for the specialists, and this gentleman is a right old specialist on the parallel bars. Dinh Phuong Thanh of Vietnam, the third strongest qualifier, 14.8 his score. He's got very competitive difficulty. Asian Championship medalist on the parallel bars in Ulaanbaatar last year. Got a very nice routine. Beautiful toe point in his handstand. Oh, isn't that sharp? Just a fraction short on that handstand, but not too noticeable. Beautiful travel right the way down the bars. Tippelt moving through to handstand. Very nice. Yeah, that'll do, won't it? Dinh Phuong Thanh with a lovely display on the parallel bars. Has taken a World Challenge Cup gold in Hungary just after the Rio 2016 Games. It's a lovely story in terms of his gymnastics career. Is Dinh had a lot of health problems as a child. His parents took him to gymnastics to help combat those, and it was the national coach Tron Toan Hen Mitch Morkins is currently sitting in third position in Olympic parallel bars qualification. Just maybe a few degrees shy of completely vertical on that handstand, but splitting hairs. It's a more noticeable execution deduction. Just a little step with the hands, as it were, but that's nice work on the single rail. Oh, crikey, he has really adjusted that well. That was quite exemplary strength from Mitch Morkins. He was going into a proper arched handstand in the manner of acrobatic gymnastics, and the strength necessary to arrest that, so impressive. Sports science student from the University of Canberra who deferred his studies to focus on his gymnastics career. Those of you new to watching the parallel bars, it's the little paces that a gymnast makes with the hands, like there, 2 paces made, that can be quite key in execution deductions. Really exciting performer on the horizontal bar as well, Mitch Morkins. 13.866 for Morkins. He's jumped up by almost 3/10 from qualifying, moves into the silver medal position with 5 competitors still to do their work. Last year was a very good year for Turkish gymnastics in terms of what they achieved at the World Championships. First ever world champion, Ibrahim Jolak, the great rings specialist. Also qualified Ferhat Alijan for the Olympics, courtesy of the all-around, and Ahmed Under through the parallel bars. So what about Serjan Demir, 20-year-old from Bolu? He was a reserve gymnast at the World Championships, 6th strongest qualifier here. Yes, he just had a bit of leg separation, and as a result comes off the bar. First time that he's competed in an Olympic Games World Cup qualifier. Has won some World Challenge Cup medals in Osijek. That's how that happened just a moment ago. It's back on the apparatus now. Is getting better now. It's developing nicely as a display. That's good travel. Well, it unfortunately was one of those days for Serjan Demir. Can happen to any gymnast, and it happened here for him. But he is a very accomplished performer on the parallel bars, who's taken World Challenge Cup honours on a couple of occasions, and we will see much more of him. Much more of him. Overall, thoroughly encouraging times for artistic gymnastics in Turkey. over to have a friendly word was Milad Karimi, who sits in the bronze medal position at the moment.
Let's see what he can bring to the Melbourne World Cup. Score at the moment is 14.933. And that was set by Didi Fontaine of Vietnam. And the scoring was set to be 22 parallel.
So we're at the halfway point of the parallel bars competition with 11.2 the score for Serjan Demir. Now, here we see a key competitor in terms of the battle for an Olympic qualification spot. Vladislav Polyashov of the Russian Federation, the second strongest performer in qualifying, but currently leading the way in the Olympic qualification race on the parallel bars. Maximum points in Baku and Doha last year. 25 points in Cottbus. So he is just 5 points away from a maximum haul. It's currently on 85 points. All of this provisional, of course. But here goes Polyashov. He does have some glorious difficulty. It's the work on the single rail that's so key. It's an effortless move into the handstand. Effortless looking anyway. Oh, that's glorious height, and there, connecting, moving so smoothly into the dismount to improve his difficulty. Little things like that that make a very big difference to a competitor's start value. We haven't had a 15 plus score yet. This was a 15 plus in qualification. He looks pretty well pleased with that, Vlad Polyashov. Didn't have the easiest time of things on the pommel horse yesterday. But I said at the time it would all be about today, and today has proven to be a very different sort of day, a very good one. All-around bronze medalist at the European Games in Minsk last year, but certainly best known for his work on this piece with Just Cause. It's a great opportunity for Polyashov with no you-hows and maybes and who knows whats of Olympic qualification. That's tomorrow's problem. There's the leader at the moment. Din Phong Tan, 14.933. How close, or indeed beyond, has Polyashov got? And it's going to be a leading position for Vladislav Polyashov, 15.2. That is very impressive. And it could well result in Polyashov having the 90-point maximum. It's tough on Din Phong Tan, who's in a provisional 4th place in parallel bars qualifying. Now then, Shoichi Yamamoto, 32-year-old gymnast, 4th strongest in qualification with 14.7. Took a bronze medal on the parallel bars at the Japanese National Event Championships last year. Doesn't he get good travel? Just minimal adjustments as he moves through to a poised looking handstand. It's really nice control on the single bar. He's not a performer that we see an awful lot of internationally, Shoichi Yamamoto. Every time we see him, he's just lovely to watch. Did a test event for the Olympic Games in London back in 2012. He's done some World Challenge Cup competitions. It's so difficult to gain an international berth when you're part of the Japanese men's team. Any of you who've been watching gymnastics for a prolonged period of time will know just the depth of skill that there is. Shoichi Yamamoto 14.9, he's in third place with 2 to go. So guaranteed medal for Vladislav Polyashov. And if he finishes Polyashov in third place, he won't be taking this through as a score. Needs it to be a top one, really. That'll make him feel very comfortable. Here's the gentleman who could make life difficult, Yusuke Tanaka. Top qualifier about to take to the parallel bars, the 30-year-old gymnast from Wakayama, Yusuke Tanaka, team gold medalist at the Olympic Games in Rio, a silver medalist London in 2012. First time we've seen him in a World Cup event since Stuttgart in 2018. No points thus far for him, but the top qualifier. Like watching a knife through hot butter at the moment. It is smooth as anything. Oh. That is a silky display from Yusuke Tanaka on the parallel bars. Welcome back to World Cup competition, the veteran. Well, he dropped out of the national team a few years ago, returned after really burning out, losing his passion after getting his lifetime goal of Olympic gold. Competed with his siblings, Kazuhito and Rie, at the Olympics in London as well. He's been a world champion too. This was something rather special. He had the strongest execution in qualification, 9.166, and it is very easy to see just why.
lot of experience behind it, 4 times at the World Championships for the Netherlands.
That really was a lovely routine to enjoy. He's from the Wakayama area. He loves to recharge after training by visiting the onsen there, the historic open-air baths. Sounds as though he's gone into the silver medal position. We're just waiting for the score to come through. It looks as though Polyashov has held on, and he's looking like he just wants it to all be over now, quite sharpish. There we go, 15.166 for Tanaka, exactly the same as his qualification display. Polyashov just holding on with only one competitor to go, Dutch gymnast Frank Rijken. And Polyashov will now, one suspects, be feeling pretty confident that that was the biggest challenge in terms of difficulty to his first place. Rijken is the 7th strongest qualifier. That is not Aldris Nin-Reyes from Dominican Republic. It is most certainly Frank Rijken of Netherlands. Apologies for the erroneous graphic. 5.6 difficulty score, so the execution for this needs to be as exact as it can be. Just a little wavering on the single rail. Might have got a little collision on one of the bars. Does well to hold that dismount with a hop back. Frank Rijken, the 23-year-old economics graduate from Tilburg University. He's on their wall of fame. Very distinguished athlete from that institution. He works as well as a motivational speaker. Many of you may remember his older sister Marlies, who competed at a couple of world championships. Stepped away from competition in 2012. First time we've seen this gentleman at the World Cup Olympic qualifications. He is an Olympian already from Rio. So just this last score to come in before we will move on after the victory ceremony to the floor and horizontal bar, but he's almost there. So the confirmation that Frank Rijken has scored a 13.733, and that means that Polyashov takes the title, and in doing so moves to the magic maximum, 90 points for Vladislav Polyashov. Now, no confirmation can be done of qualifiers for the Olympic Games at this stage of the process. There are still 2 events to come. The final standings of the men's parallel bars competition at the Melbourne World Cup in 2020. Din Phong Tan of Vietnam taking the bronze medal, Yusuke Tanaka of Japan the silver, and Vladislav Polyashov of the Russian Federation winning the title and going to the 90-point maximum in Olympic qualification.